Hello, everyone, and welcome to Spill the Pea. This week, we're reviewing Parsha Terumah. Everyone nowadays wants to evolve, and they talk about healing and growing spiritually. But nobody talks about what happens after that. Because growth without structure doesn't last, and values without boundaries can't hold. And a sacred inner world without a strong vessel gets shaken by everything. Terumah is where we learn how to build a life that can actually hold who it is that we are becoming. Please like, share, and give us your feedback. Let's dive in. So we open with Hashem speaking to Moshe and saying, "Speak to the children of Israel and let them take for me a portion. From every man whose heart motivates him, you shall take my portion. This is the portion you shall take from them: gold, silver, and copper, and turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, linen and goat hair, red dyed ram skins, tachash skins, acacia wood, oil for illumination, spices for the anointment oil and the aromatic incense, shoham stones, and stones for the settings for the ephod and breastplate. They shall make a sanctuary for me so that I may dwell among them, like everything that I show you from the tabernacle, the form of the tabernacle and the form of all of its vessels, and so shall you do. They shall make an ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits in length, 1.5 cubits its width, 1.5 cubits its height. You shall cover it with pure gold from within and from without shall you cover it. And you shall make it on a gold crown all around. You shall cast for it 4 rings of gold and place them on its 4 corners, 2 rings on its one side and 2 rings on its second side. You shall make staves of acacia wood and cover them with gold, and insert the staves in the rings on the sides of the ark with which to carry the ark. The staves shall remain in the rings of the ark. They may not be removed from it. You shall place in the ark the testimonial tablets that I shall give to you. You shall make a cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits its length and 1.5 cubits its width. You shall make 2 cherubim of gold, hammered out shall you make them from both ends of the cover. You shall make 1 cherub from the end at one side and 1 cherub from the end at the other. From the cover shall you make the cherubim at its 2 ends. The cherubim shall be with wings spread upward, sheltering the cover with their wings, with their faces toward one another. Toward the cover shall be the faces of the cherubim. You shall place the cover on the ark from above, and onto the ark shall you place the testimonial tablets that I shall give you. It is there that I will set my meetings with you, and I shall speak with you from atop the cover, from between the 2 cherubim that are on the ark of the testimonial tablets, everything that I shall command you to the children of Israel. You shall make a tablet of acacia wood. You shall cover it with pure gold, and you shall make for it a gold crown all around. You shall make for it a molding of 1 hand breadth all around, and you shall make a gold crown on the molding all around. You shall make for it 4 rings of gold and place the rings upon the 4 corners of its 4 legs. The rings shall be opposite the molding as housings for the staves to carry the table. You shall make the staves of acacia wood and cover them with gold, and the table shall be carried through them. You shall make its dishes, its spoons, its shelving tubes, and its pillars with which it shall be covered. Of pure gold shall you make them. On the table shall you place showbread before me always. You shall make a menorah of pure gold. Hammered out shall the menorah be made. Its base, its shaft, its cups, its knobs, and its blossoms shall be hammered from it. 6 branches shall emerge from its sides, 3 branches of the menorah from its one side, and 3 branches of the menorah from its second side. 3 cups engraved like almonds on the one branch, and a knob and a flower, and 3 cups engraved like almonds on the next branch, a knob and a flower. So for the 6 branches that emerge from the menorah, on the menorah shall be cups engraved like almonds, its knobs and its flowers. Their knobs and branches shall be of it, all of it a single hammered piece of pure gold. You shall make its lamps 7. He shall kindle its lamps so as to give light toward its face. Its tongs and its spokes shall be of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold shall he make it with all of these vessels. See and make according to their fork that you are shown on the mountain. You shall make the tabernacle of 10 curtains twisted linen with turquoise, purple, and scarlet wood, and a woven design of cherubim shall you make them. The length of a single curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the width 4 for each curtain, the same measurement for all the curtains. 5 curtains shall be attached to one another, and 5 curtains shall attach to one another. You shall make loops of turquoise wool at the edge of the single curtain at the end of one set, and you shall make the same on the edge of the outermost curtain on the second set. 50 loops will you make on the first curtain, and 50 loops on the end of the curtain that is on the second set. The loops shall correspond to one another. You shall make 50 hooks of gold, and you shall attach the curtains to one another with the hooks, so the tabernacle shall become one. You shall make the curtains of goat hair for a tent over the tabernacle. 11 curtains shall you make them. The length of a single curtain, 30 cubits, and the width of a single curtain, 4 cubits. The same measure for the 11 curtains. You shall attach 5 of the curtains separately, and 6 of the curtains separately. And you shall fold the 6th curtain over the front of the tent. You shall make 50 hooks on the edge of the first curtain at the end of one set, and 50 loops on the edge of the curtain of the second set. You shall make 50 hooks of copper. You shall bring the hooks into the loops and attach the tent so that it shall become one. As for the extra overhang of the curtains of the tent, half of the extra curtain shall hang over the back of the tabernacle. And the cubit on one side, and there's a typo, I'm going to have to fix that are an extra length of the curtains of the tent shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle on one side and the other to cover it. You shall make a cover for the tent of red dyed ram skins and a cover of tachash skins above. You shall make the planks of the tabernacle of acacia wood standing erect, 10 cubits the length of each plank, and 1.5 cubits the width of each plank. Each plank should have 2 tenons parallel to one another. So shall you do for all of the planks of the tabernacle. You shall make planks for the tabernacle, 20 planks for the south side. You shall make 40 silver sockets under the 20 planks, 2 sockets under one plank for its 2 tenons, and 2 skirts under the next plank for its 2 tenons. For the second wall of the tabernacle on the north side, 20 planks. There are 40 silver sockets, 2 sockets under one plank, and 2 sockets under the next plank. For the back of the tabernacle on the west, you shall make 6 planks. You shall make 2 planks on the corners of the tabernacle in the back. They shall be even at the bottom, and together they shall match at its top for a single ring. So shall it be for them both. For the 2 corners shall they be. There shall be 8 planks and their silver sockets, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under one plank, and 2 sockets under the next plank. You shall make bars of acacia wood, 5 for the planks of one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the planks of the second wall of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the planks of the tabernacle wall at the back on the west. The middle bar inside the planks shall extend from end to end. You shall cover the planks with gold, and its ring shall you make of gold as housing for the bars, and you shall cover the bars with gold. You shall erect the tabernacle according to its manner as you will have been shown on the mountain. You shall make a partition of turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool and linen twisted. A weaver's craft shall make it, with a woven design of cherubim. You shall join 4 pillars of acacia wood plated with gold at the hooks of gold upon 4 silver sockets. You shall put the partition under the hooks. You shall bring there inside the partition the ark of the testimonial tablets. And the partition shall separate for you between the holy and the holy of holies. You shall put the cover upon the ark of the testimonial tablets in the holy of holies. You shall place the table outside the partition and the menorah opposite the table on the south side of the tabernacle. And the table you shall place on the north side. You shall make a screen for the entrance of the tent of turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and twisted linen, and embroider's craft. You shall make for the screen 5 pillars of acacia wood, and cover them with gold, and their hooks shall be gold. And you shall cast for them 5 sockets of copper. You shall make the altar of acacia wood, 5 cubits in length and 5 cubits in width. The altar shall be square, and 3 cubits its height. You shall make its horns on its 4 corners, from it shall its horns be, and you shall cover it with copper. You shall make its pots to clear its ashes, its shovel, its basins, its forks, and its fire pans. You shall make all its vessels of copper. You shall make it for a netting of copper meshwork, and make upon the meshwork 4 copper rings at its 4 edges. You shall place it under the surrounding border of the altar from below, and the meshwork shall go to the midpoint of the altar. You shall make staves for the altar, staves of acacia wood, and you shall plate them with copper. Its staves shall be brought into the rings, and the staves shall be on the 2 sides of the altar when it's carried. Hollow of boards shall you make it, as you are shown on the mountain, so shall you do. You shall make the courtyard of the tabernacle in the south side, the lace hangings of the courtyard, a twisted linen, 100 cubits long for one side, and its pillars 20, and their sockets 20 of copper. The hooks of the pillars and their bands silver. So too for the north side in length, lace hangings 100 long, its pillars 20, and the sockets 20 of copper. The hooks of the pillars and their bands silver. The width of the courtyard on the west side, lace hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10, and their sockets 10. The width of the courtyard on the eastern side, 50 cubits, and 50 cubits of lace hangings on a shoulder. Their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. And the second shoulder, 15 of lace hangings, their pillars 3, and their sockets 3. At the gate of the courtyard, a screen of 20 cubits, turquoise, purple, and scarlet wool, and twisted linen and embroider's craft. Their pillars 4, and their sockets 4. At the pillars of the courtyard, all around banded with silver, their hooks of silver, and their sockets of copper. The length of the courtyard 100 cubits, the width 50 by 50, and the height 5 cubits of twisted linen, and their sockets of copper. All the vessels of the tabernacle for all its labor, all its pegs, and all the pegs of the courtyard, copper. Okay, so Terumah isn't as intense as Mishpatim. It may be intense in a different way, I suppose. So let's go back to the beginning. First of all, what's the overarching difference between Mishpatim and Terumah? Mishpatim is teaching us how to deal with the challenges of the inner work, how we deal with emotions, how we handle them, the balance that we need internally. Terumah is dealing specifically with the vessel. How should the vessel be structured to maintain what we learned in Mishpatim? Mishpatim is how to keep your soul clean, so to speak, during this lifetime. And Terumah is how to create a vessel that aids, supports, and protects the inner world. Mishpatim is like the feminine energy, the flow of things, which is why there are so many questions and answers and details and specific nuances. Femininity is flow, like water. And water can go in all sorts of directions. So we need the masculine to discipline, structure, protect, guide. This is also directly related to Sinai, where we were told that the people could not touch the mountain. You need to feel, to flow, to understand. And when you understand, you become one with your values, your morals, your standards, who you are, what you will and will not tolerate, what your purpose is. And when you have these understandings, now you also understand how to create structures around that. Disciplines around your standards and purpose. The way that you will choose to live because of your values. Feeling must come before structure, or else structure doesn't have something to protect with intention. We're again receiving an understanding of how the divine feminine and the divine masculine work individually, so that then we also understand how they're meant to come together. Okay, so in the beginning, Hashem says to Moshe, "Let the children of Israel each take a portion for me, but from every man whose heart motivates him shall you take my portion." Why is this important? Because we're being told exactly what the Creator wants from us. Everyone is told to take a portion for the Creator. Moshe is only told to take the portion from the people whose hearts motivate them. What does it mean? It's kind of the basis and the root for Chassidut, right? But even more than that, we all might give to the Creator, but He doesn't want it unless it's from your heart. How many people have won the gold medal for mental gymnastics by, quote unquote, figuring out exactly how they're supposed to pray to the Creator, by logicking their way to how they're supposed to connect to the Creator, what they're supposed to do for the Creator? I've gotten A+ in the 613. People who study back and forth and can regurgitate anything because their mind has rehearsed so much that it just comes out. This is not from the heart. The Creator's portion is what He has suggested that you do in the Aseret HaDibrot. You're going to do it because you're choosing to do it. But why are you doing it? Because you think the more you do, the more connected to Him you are? The louder you pray and the tighter you wrap, you get extra points? That's not a portion from the heart. And He deliberately says He doesn't want that. He wants the thing that you do that comes from your raw, authentic self. Example, we've been taught that prayer needs to be done in specific ways, with specific words, in specific orders, and sometimes even in specific places. This is technically a portion that you have set aside to give to the Creator. However, I guarantee you that if you put all of that aside and you were sitting in your car or in your bed in the middle of the night or on your bathroom floor, bawling your eyes out, yelling, yes, I said yelling, at the Creator, this is the portion that He wants to take. It's not scripted. It doesn't come with step-by-step directions that you had to mentally think your way through. It comes directly from your heart. From your heart stems connection, and that's exactly what He wants. We've all met people that we feel are trying to figure us out, trying to think their way into knowing what we are so they can attach to that thing. And we all know that it never works. Why? What I do from day to day might change, but who I am stays the same. So if you choose to attach to me or to like me or to love me because of what I do, who's to say that if I stopped doing those things, that you wouldn't still like me or love me? The Creator doesn't want that kind of relationship with you. Those relationships are futile, fleeting, fragile, shallow, dare I say, casual. So many people's relationships with the Creator are an entanglement or a situationship or one of those, well, we're talking, but we're not serious relationships. So many people are quick to point the finger and blame the Creator for all of their problems. And I would just like to remind you that He has been the same the entire time. Who exactly decided that your relationship with the Creator was to be friends with benefits? Okay. So now we have the ark. Inside the ark are to be the testimonial tablets. First, the tablets or the 10 sayings are the ways of life. So yes, they are physical statements that provide guidance for our lives. However, they are the morals, standards, values that you choose to live by. This is the center of everything. This is what must be protected. Many people today have fluctuating morals, values, and standards, and that is why the world has slipped into chaos. But I digress. This is what needs to be protected. And remember, morals, values, standards are also directly related to your heart. Now, we mostly have gold around the ark protecting our tablets or values. Why? Gold is highly conductive and it doesn't tarnish. Why does that matter? Your standards, values, and morals, your heart radiates energy and your heart beats at specific frequencies. And when something doesn't tarnish, it remains in its original form. We also have the cherubim on opposite sides facing each other. What have we consistently been shown that oppose or contrast each other? The masculine and the feminine. And it says, "It is there that I will set my meetings with you, and I shall speak with you from between the two cherubim." The Creator exists in balance, in stillness. When you lean too far on either side, everything is thrown off. When you are waves of emotion, it's chaotic. You react just for the sake of reacting because you can react, but it's chaos. That's why people nowadays, you look at them the wrong way, or frankly, what they imagine to be the wrong way, and then they shoot you. That's the rational reaction to have. And on the other side, you can be so narrow-minded and only see one way to do things. You pigeonhole yourself, and then you have to make everything and everyone fit into that hole by any means necessary. Both sides are cuckoo. The Creator is the center, balance, harmony. When you have an emotion and you have a direction for that emotion that comes from the center purpose, remaining in your morals and standards and values, you can create, which is our whole point of being here. So we fast forward a little bit and we get to the table. And we're told, "On the table shall you place showbread before me always." This is the English translation. First of all, what does the table represent? Where we bring the parts of ourselves that we are committing to the Creator. This is the portion that we spoke about from the beginning. The table is where you interact, connect, share, commune with. But what are we bringing to the table? As mentioned, in English, it says, "On the table shall you place your showbread before me always." In Hebrew, it says, "Venatata ami." Translation, "And you shall place on the table the bread of faces before me always." What is the bread of faces, and why isn't Torah ever basic understanding? Because we would never think. The bread of faces, what does it mean? So let's be simple. Let's take a loaf of bread. Okay, so most bread has crust, but the crust is fleeting. When you eat bread, most of it is the innards of the bread, the fluffy part that has depth and flavor. That's who you are. The depth, the flavor, the seasoning. The crust is what's presented to the world. The Creator wants the bread. So what do we understand? When we come to commune with the Creator, you bring Him the bread of who you are, the bread of your face, not the crust that you show the world. The thing is, even if we do choose to show him just the crust, he already has access and knows and understands the bread. But if you don't choose to be vulnerable with him, to give him the bread of you, to give him your heart, then again, here you are having a friend with benefits. It's not deep, only unstable, like sandwiches with the butts of the bread. We were just talking about sandwiches. Then we go to the menorah, which was originally with 7 stems. Again, symbolizing the 7 days, but it's not necessarily shown in the step-by-step order. It has the 7 in the middle, and it has 3 on each side, letting us know that Shabbat energy comes from a balancing of all of the energies of the first 6. If any of those 6 are out of balance from either 3 on each side, there will be no Shabbat energy. And each of these is made from gold. Gold also represents fire, light, divine energy, and consciousness. So each of these things, your values, morals, standards, your heart, your connection with the Creator, the balance that you find in the world, all should be from a place of divine consciousness. This is what keeps you elevated. This is what keeps you highly conductive. So we fast forward some more, and we're told that the menorah should be placed on the south side and the table should be placed on the north side. Our menorah is representing light, divinity, Shabbat energy. The south is representative of chesed, giving. So we always need to be giving, existing within the menorah energy. The north is representative of gvura, discipline. And what goes on the table? Who we are, the bread or the crust that we choose to be. And this should be disciplined, refined, committed, and connected. When you host a dinner, you don't just order McDonald's and present it in nice dishes. You have the discipline to first think about how you want to share and spend time with people. Then you take your time and you go to the grocery store. You take your time preparing the food. You create a nice environment. All of this takes discipline, refinement, structure. Knowing the relationship that you're cultivating so that you can create the space for it and also represent yourself in the best way possible. So much of Terumah is giving numbers and saying what goes on from this side and how to put it on that side. It's all about balance. What goes left must also go right. What's here must also be over there. Although what's inside the tabernacle is the essence of the connection we have with the Creator, without the structure on the outside, it would have no protection, no place to exist. A structured, disciplined vessel is necessary because it helps prevent manipulation, poor habit development, reactivity. When your standards, morals, and values are first and foremost solid, and then you have a solid, balanced structure built around that, you cannot be moved. You cannot be shaken because your core is rooted and conducting from a divine level. And divinity has never been moved by man. Man has manipulated man into believing that the Creator is movable and that the Creator will change if we change. And we're told that if we do things differently, then we will be good enough to change the way that the world works. But this is building the tabernacle without cultivating what goes inside the ark. If you have nothing in the ark, no values, no morals, no standards, you have no connection to the Creator. And the Creator is the only 100% fixed thing in this world. And if you are disconnected from the one thing that is fixed because you're trying to be a certain way to fit yourself into this world, you're always going to be flouncing around, feeling like you're constantly being flipped, dipped, and stripped of everything that you choose to be. What you choose to be in this world, how you choose to present yourself in this world is like having a box wrapped in beautiful paper and no gift inside. It's pointless, purposeless. Start focusing more on who you are, What are your values? What do you believe in? Who do you choose to step into this world as? What are your standards for how you will behave and how you will allow yourself to be treated? What are your morals? What do you truly believe to be aligned and misaligned? When you start there, you're building something to protect instead of just attaching yourself to personality traits depending on whatever people happen to be in the room. That's all we have for you this week. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one.